all the setup sorted. To be honest, that's much better done looking at the slides and doing it on the PC. You're never going to remember it from me speaking about it, going back to the computer. But so just so you know, it's all up there. You can then just go through them, and it will make perfect sense. And it is actually relatively simple. The only difficult bit is the getting the code on your site, and that's the only bit where you may have to speak to a web developer to help you out. Right. To get an overview of your website, this is that front. So this is the sort of just gives you a brief idea as to what's happening. So as you can see on this site, we have various. They have weekends and weeks. They seem to have a fairly regular up and down. So you can get it graphically shows you good variance in terms of visitors. And this is just the overview page, which I did chat through briefly before. But then you can then start drilling down. So this, for example, is the location. So this is a website selling loans, and they do it in this country. So you'd hope that most of the visitors are from this country, because otherwise the visitors mean nothing. If all the visitors are from the States, you get a lot. Actually, on some websites, you get a lot from India, because they have companies that will go onto websites and then try and spam them in terms of selling them services. So you kind of need to completely discount those visitors, because they're not after your business. They're not after buying things from you. They're trying to sell you stuff. So you must need to discount those in terms of numbers. So as you can see from this website, the majority from the UK, which is what you'd expect. 4,700 visitors from the UK, over 500 from America. Now, considering they don't do loans in America, it means that in terms of these figures, you can now start to see, right, okay, I need to discount those figures from the States. But at least the majority are from the UK, which is good. I'm not going to go through each one of these, because we'll be here for 3 weeks. So another one I would look at is the mobile overview, because a lot of people now actually surf the web on their smartphones. So with your website, it's actually really useful to know who's looking for your services on a desktop versus who's looking for them on a mobile. Because if they're looking for them on a mobile, a high proportion, you pretty much want to make sure that your website actually looks good on a mobile phone. Because I think we've all seen websites that are terrible on a mobile that you can't find what you want. So it's really useful to go in and look at what proportion of people are looking at a website from a mobile. And on this site, we've got 4,000 from desktops, and we've got 1,500 from mobiles. So probably pretty important on this site that it looks good on a mobile, otherwise that's a fairly high proportion of people that can't actually see your services.
Sorry, just to cover, if you do see high visits coming from a mobile, the bounce rate is very high. Because it's not formatted and it's not displayed very well on the mobile, people are coming to the site and they're instantly disappearing. So it's a flag to show that the site's not particularly well configured for a mobile site. And you'll also see the average visit duration will plummet. So someone may have 1,500 people, but they're never going to come back because those figures are telling you your site's not configured for mobile. Don't worry, Duncan, yours is.
Yeah.
You came to the right people.
One of my favourite pages on Google Analytics is actually this one, and you can't see it because as long as Google it, I think. It's called Visitor Flow, and it's at the bottom here, and it's just a really great visual representation of where people are going on your website. So as you can see from here, the majority of people are coming from the UK, which is obviously what you want, and this particular site does really well on the keywords no credit checking loans. So in actual fact, at the moment, the majority of people are coming directly to that page rather than the home page. So it goes to that page, and then a lot of them go off to this other page, which in actual fact is a page which goes directly to the lender where they're typing in their application details. So immediately I can see from that people are coming straight into a primary landing page, which is very relevant to what they're searching for. So people are searching for no credit checking loans. And then a lot of those people, nearly 600 out of 3,000 are immediately applying for a loan, which, that's good news. That's the sort of thing that we want to see. But it's just a great representation visually of what's going on with your site. Yes, the actual homepage, we can see the homepage is actually the third most popular page that people are going to. It's primarily these no credit checking loans and then these guarantor loans, which for this website is great because the main things that they sell are those types of loans.
We couldn't fit this on the screen, but if you scroll right on this page, it shows you the entire journey. So you'll see people coming into the landing page, going to the calculator page, and coming back to the loan page, and then going back to the calculator. So you can see the entire journey, and it tails off towards the end.
So it's also very useful to know where people are coming from. So people can come from a multitude of sources. They can come from search engines, so from Google, from Bing, from Yahoo. They could come from, maybe you've got a strategic alliance with another company. So for example, a bike shop, they might get lots of inquiries from the manufacturer, say Trek, and they want to, and people might search for Trek, they might find Trek's website, and then that goes then through to your website. So that might come from Yellow Pages, they might come from a marketing campaign that you've done. There might be a myriad of areas that where people come to your website. It's not purely going to be from Google, so therefore it's really useful to know that. So on this particular website, you can see that 82% of it are from search traffic, i.e. it's from people going onto Google and searching for no credit checking loans and those types of phrases. But there is risk attached, so immediately I can look at this and think, well, that's a very high proportion, and whilst that's great and it shows that the search engine optimization is working, what it also shows to me is that all their eggs are in one basket, is that if Google completely change their algorithm and decide to do something different, that can have a major impact on their business. This guy's not particularly worried because he sells lots of different stuff online, and if it particularly goes down for this site, we're right with another